Welcome back, attendees. I believe that we did not make you wait and you're all super excited for the second half of this event. Now we move on to our second session. In this session, I would again like to welcome Mr. Sameer Jacob, Global Marketing Manager, Clenergy, to give their presentation.
Meenakshi, will you play the video or should I just go straight into the presentation?
Yes, we're playing the video.
Thank you. Thanks for that, Meenakshi.
Yes,
Yeah, I'll go ahead and share my screen. Thank you, Meenakshi, and everyone there at Solar Quarter for organizing this session here for us. Welcome to all our attendees who's signing in now. Apologies to the people who were there in the previous session, and you have to kind of listen to me all over again. But I promise a few of my slides will be catered more towards the roof mounting solutions that we have. My name is Sameer Jacob. I'm the Global Marketing Manager with Clenergy. Glad to be here, part of this forum. At Clenergy, our mission as a company is to be that enabler for governments, the public sector, and enterprises in reaching carbon neutrality, whether that's our PV mounting gear or building products or electronic products, all of which our mission is towards helping enterprises reach a clean energy powered future. In terms of a few markers of who we are founded in Melbourne, Australia. We're publicly listed, manufacturing facilities across China, Indonesia, and Australia, 15 gigawatts worldwide, the number one brand in Australia, top 5 across China. Our primary core business is manufacturing, and we have a distribution model across most parts of Asia Pacific, and now venturing into the Middle East market, also Europe and Africa. However, within China itself, we also have EPC services, PPA division, and we also do contract manufacturing. And also work as a developer in some parts of Germany. In terms of our global presence, as you can see, we do have a heavy set within the Asia Pacific region. Although in the last 4 months, the company has expanded quite tremendously. We still have to update this slide from about the last 2 months. We've actually got more distributors now in Ireland, England, Romania, Hungary, obviously is already there, and looking at 2 new ventures in Southern Africa and Western Africa. And we do have a new distributor in Dubai, who I will share their details in this presentation. Our teams are quite are scattered across three main regions, which is a team in Australia with in-house engineering, our product development, and then with our team in China, where we have even more engineers and product developers, and where our main manufacturing hub is, as well as a very skilled team there in Japan. In terms of our main product lines, we have PV Easy Rack, which by the name definition is for the solar mounting industry, as well as we have our Runner series, which is more for the building industry, but can be complemented with our Easy Rack solution as they are cable tray management. When it comes to our PV Easy Rack range, we've got about 4 categories. We've got solar roof, which is for all roof mount, solar terrace, which is our fixed tilts, Easy Tracker by the name again, it's our tracking systems. And we have Clenergy Hollywood, which is our roof mount all black series. What we tend to see in a lot of module manufacturers who are all moving to all black panels, black backing sheets, etc. It just makes sense to make our mounting gear black as well. So there's a nice, clean, sleek finish. And we also do have ground structures in terms of carports and post mounts, and I'll show you a few images of that. So with our solar roof product, whether it's tin roofs for penetrative or non-penetrative, or tile roofs, or even flat roof structures, we've got a variety of solutions there for you. As you can see right there, when it comes to a non-penetrative solution there. I thought I'll give you an example of a penetrative solution right here.
So the process of setting up for the installation here at Lexus, we were able to engage the tech team from Clenergy to ensure that exactly what we were putting on the roof met with the standards of all of our Clenergy gear. The decision for what mounting system we were going to use here at Lexus was a really easy one. We stuck with our tried and true Clenergy PV Easy Rack flush mount for this particular roof installation. We were also super excited to use Clenergy's brand new to the industry runner gear for our cable management. We chose the runner gear for the longevity of the cable management. The runner gear is a MAC product which will sustain itself throughout the lifetime of the solar system.
Beautiful. When it comes to roofing structures, not all of them can be flush. So we've got for the low pitch or flat roofs, we've got multiple choices there for you with adjustable tilts ranging from 5, 10, 15, 20 degrees to our our tripod systems, which are all pre-assembled. So very easy to put together up on the roof there in the middle. And then our CompT 2.0, which is our new flat roof system, which comes in 5, 10, and 15 degrees. We also have concrete roof options for ballast systems, if that's so the way in terms that that's the kind of system that you're looking for. So we do have solutions for that as well. When it comes to non-penetrative clamps, or whether you're looking at clamps that can fit a variety of different roof profiles, we've got solutions there for you as well as our regular penetrative L-foot there, as you can see. Here's a few variety of non-penetrative clamps, which I mean, this is just a few. Obviously, if you look through our catalogs, there's a larger variety than what I've got here on display. So I'll give you an example there for a quick non-penetrative roof.
So we first came to site in February of 2020. The construction or the main structure was already up and the roof was on. Our main goal was to scope the job and understand how we're going to install from there. There were some specific guidelines that we had to adhere to. The first one was analysing the risk of the pitches of the roof. The second one was maximising the system size with the space we had on the roof.
And the project was started on the 27th of January. During that week, we started with a few guys on site and ramped up between 2 to 6 guys, and it took about 3.5 weeks from start to finish for the installation of the solar system.
It's a clip lock roof, so we've got clip lock clamps on there. So we chose Clenergy for the mounting system on this one. We had to actually engineer the system specifically for this roof. We're up a bit higher here, and through Morwell we do get some extreme winds and some weather. So we got that engineered, and we've actually shortened the clip lock spacing substantially, which increases the structural integrity of the panels while they're on the roof.
Beautiful. And I just want to quickly show you our black series, which is the all black. As you can see, when you have customers who want that premium product, when they buy all black panels to look really aesthetically pleasing on their roofs, it just makes sense to offer them a framing or racking solution that complements those panels. So it just has a clean finish, whether for tile, tin, non-penetrative or penetrative roofs. In terms of our more of our ground mount fixed tilt, we've got our solar terrace, which is single post, solar terrace 3 dual post, and solar terrace 5, which is a engineered customized product. The 2 and 3, the left and middle image, those are pretty much off the shelf, where you can get ready pricing. With the solar terrace 5, that's another conversation you need to have with our in-house engineers, and because that's for additional accessibility depending on wind regions, the type of terrain, etc. When it comes to trackers, we've got our single panel option, or a dual panel portrait option, or with our AI smart solar tracking systems, which not only looks at sun patterns, but additionally also in real-time weather patterns to help adjust it, and then get an extra benefit of increased production. When it comes to ground structures, we've got our Easy Shade 2.0, which is it comes in single bay and double bay. It also comes in 2 colors. It comes in black and silver. We do also have our Easy Shade Razor, which is a single post carport. That is an engineered custom product. So that is something where you have to have a conversation with the engineers, and we can design that up for you bespoke. And then lastly, we have our post mounts, which is for a variety of number of panels and can be done for regular or large size panels. In terms of our large global installations, we have installed pretty much all over the globe, with 63 megawatts there, as an example there in Germany, or a 1.2 rooftop installation there in LA, United States, or this project here in Melbourne, Australia. And as you can see, those are actually, that's a combination of a flush as well as simple tripods on that system. In terms of cable management, which complements our Easy Rack range, we've got our Mac Finish, which is the zinc, aluminium, and magnesium alloy that gives that self-healing property to our cable management gear. Additionally, all our covers, we do have a standard plain cover as well as a customized solar DC cover, so that your installation team don't have to spray paint or put stickers on that could fly away in years to come, depending on the weather conditions. Everything here is all embossed, so it's there for the 20-year or plus of its lifetime. All those materials come with their accessories, which you can see here as an example, where we have on display at our show in Japan, where it goes up and down. You've got the various T-junctions, so it's fairly versatile. Clenergy as a company, we're very, very enthusiastic about our work-life balance. You can see our CEO there in the top right-hand corner. He champions this within our teams to make sure all staff are well looked after. Also, in terms of our environmental social governance, it's a big part of our mission to give back to communities. So for the last 12 years, we've been part of the It's Time Foundation, which is the image there on the left-hand side with the kids there under the ground mount system. We've been a part of that program where the It's Time Foundation provides basically a modern education to students across the Pacific on remote islands by giving them ground mount solar with batteries for 24/7 power. And in addition to that, there are a couple of universities across the country, across the globe, where we support their EV or their solar-powered cars across the various races, whether it's the Bridgestone World Solar Challenge or Formula Student EV. In terms of our online presence, we do a range of varieties of podcasts and panel discussions, how to install videos, testimonials with with module manufacturers, with inverter companies, with key stakeholders of the various associations around the world for the PV industry. So I invite you all to jump onto our various social channels and have a watch of that. In terms of our distribution, if you are interested in any of our products, I would invite you to go over to Clenergy.com/distributors. It's up there on our second menu. In the filters, click on Middle East, and you'll find Power and Sun Solar, who are based there in Dubai, who look after your solar mounting needs from Clenergy. If you want to stay in touch with everything that we're doing and our latest updates, jump on to Clenergy's Chronicle and subscribe, and you can do that on our homepage. And if you want to stay in touch on a daily basis with everything that we're doing, I invite you to go over to all of our social channels, which typically on a daily basis we have new content from around the world. Beautiful. That's it from me. Thank you very much for your time. Back to you, Meenakshi.
Thank you so much for that insightful presentation, Mr. Samir. Moving on to our next presentation by Mr. Amar Yasir from Alex Firm. While to fix Mr. Amar Yasir, we'll take on the presentation by Mr. Harshal Akhori from Stroller. Mr. Harshal, please go ahead with your presentation.
Hello guys, I understand that it has been a long time with the presentation, so I would like to just keep it very crisp, and I would try to possibly get it closed within 2 minutes of our time. So Stroller is India's second largest mounting structure company with 3.6 gigawatt as of date of the preparation of this presentation. We have now close to supplied close to around 3.9 gigawatts in the past 7 years of our working. We are we started off with rooftop because there was a huge gap in between the market that was required and that was being served, and this is how we gained popularity. We are now currently everywhere, whether it is carports, whether it is rooftop mounting structures, whether it is ground mount systems. We have our in-house manufacturing capacities for both steel and aluminium, wherein we do contract manufacturing as well as with our own design. I guess this is briefly about us. I would just skim through everything. That we have 3.6 gigawatts in supplies. We have a product range of 38. It includes all your accessories as well, whether it is cable tray and other things. We have strong focused research and development team, our technical team, and we have our 11 patents pending. And we are a company that has good market outreach, whether it is global or within domestic market. The leadership team, obviously, the company was founded by 3 partners: Harshal Akhori, that is myself, Mr. Gaurav, who looks after the operations, and Mr. Rajendran, who leads the technical team. So you can say that the key persons of the company are directly associated with everything that happens within the company. And there is obviously a strategic workplace model that is deployed in order to get things done fast and easy. So we've done close to around 10,000 projects as the time of preparation of the project. We have also a small presence in America as well, right? And we are looking forward to expanding to Germany as well with our next projects. I will not bore you with the milestones company started and what we are today. So product portfolio. So Stroller has 8 different production lines, from your automatic CNC mill rolling, from mechanical bending, and everything. These are all. You must have seen the company presentation, wherein we are very proud of all the setup that we have, which enables us to be very cost optimistic, thereby reducing the operational cost. We have one of the largest product bases in India, and this is with respect to the different requirements we have received over the years. Our products are also capable and compliant with international standards, and there are a lot of systems that are in place of development that will be released in the coming time. When it comes to products, so for industrial shed products, we have literally almost everything that you can imagine from. We have inclined roof pitch solutions, we have seam roof solutions, we have long rail solutions, we have non-penetrative solutions, we have almost every single thing. For India, we are one of the largest player with approximately 26% of market share in terms of industrial shed roofing. This number is 2020, and yes, we are also in flat roof. We are again the pioneer of the ballasted system here in India. One of our product has been the champion of how things have worked out. We got late into ground mount systems back in around 2017, but we have optimized a lot of things in the ground mount system space as well. We have double portraits, triple portrait, fixed tilts, season tilt as well, and we are contract manufacturing for a lot of different tracker companies globally. We also have our carports with us. You will be happy to know that Stroller is the proud supplier of a 20 megawatt carport, which is the largest carport here in India, and this comes with legacy brand and trust that we have gained over the years. And before that, the largest carport was also supplied by Stroller, which was again a 5 megawatt carport project. So commitment to innovate, we have introduced a lot of products in the industry, Indian industry, which were absolutely not available when we started. And Stroller is very diligently associated with the R&D research work. One of the first companies to do wind tunnel testing for their rooftop projects. In fact, we were the first company to do wind tunnel testing for the rooftop projects, and the trend has continued. Obviously, the company cannot run without quality and certifications. We have a factory that is certified by TUV as per the Indian standards. We have our quality management system that is obviously certified by different testing agencies. Our products are now being validated with the UL for international supplies and independent agencies. Global projects, we've done close to around 18 megawatts in sub-Saharan region. One of the project that we have done overseas, we've done a few projects, industrial projects in the Middle East, in Bahrain, in Dubai, and we are starting a good decent sized project in Germany, right? So this is bringing me close to the closure of the presentation. I guess I will not bore you much. We are currently serving 9 countries as on date, and we are looking forward to expanding this 3 times with respect to the inquiries that we have with us. We have done close to, and this is all just a repetitive number of what we have decided. Advantage of working with Stroller. So The only difference that we have with respect to other mounting systems is we can be your partner in support even when you do not have your project, right? We can help you, assist you, guide you, and take you into the direction of gaining the project, right? Everything, almost everything, whether in terms of modules, inverters, and everything is fixed. It is the mounting systems where you can optimize and strategize. Coming from a matured solar economy, I think we definitely have that status. So whether you're an international company or a national company, you can work with us from your pre-bid design phase, and we charge absolutely nothing for that. Just the promise of being connected in future. And that is it. That concludes my presentation. I will leave it to you guys.
Thank you so much for your presentation, sir.
Thank you, Meenakshi.
We'll now have Mr. Amar Yasir from Alex Form giving his presentation.
Thank you. Thank you for everyone in Solar Quarter team.
So you can begin your presentation now.
Yes. Hello everyone. This is Ahmad from Alex Form technical team. Today I will give you a quick presentation about one of our products that we give in the market. Can you see the screen now? Screen. Meenakshi, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir, we can. We
Okay.
can see your presentation. Yes.
Okay. Alex Panel is a factory that affiliated and related to Alex Form company, which is responsible for the manufacturing of insulation panel or sandwich panel in our story. The sandwich panel is a covering material that the sandwich panel is used usually for industrial and commercial. Is a covering building which consists of two layers, two surface layers of materials and polyurethane material in between. In the photo, you can see this slide. You can see the files that links can be used. In this, you can see the file that this surface material shouldn't be always of PPGI, which is just the sheets. It can be considered of glass, material, or even alufoil or stripes material, or our product is certified from if what related to the fire resistance product is that our product is as organization and Alex for the always even one strategy of this can be considered us or even out of or is or product is the modernity to be take place in the global within the global market, and that takes the global from this point of view. And since the company constitute an industry force, we have sold many of our trackers and mounting suppliers to develop the system through the development of profiles to greater strength to within standard.
Mr. Amar, are you there with us? Okay, we'll continue with the presentation once we have Mr. Amar's network issue fixed. Moving on now, so without further delay, let's begin our second panel discussion on structural engineering trends and new age mounting technologies for rooftop solar projects. And to discuss this, we have in our esteemed panel Mr. Sameer Zawayede, Mr. Amar Fatala, Mr. Sameer Jacob, Mr. Douglas Lee, Mr. Shivakumaran Shivalingam, Mr. Joe Rodrigo, and Mr. Chandrasekhar Boina. Mr. Sameer, you can take the panel forward.
Thank you very much, Manaksky. We start with Mr. Sameer Jacob because Mr. Amar is not available right now until he shows up. I will introduce Mr. Sameer as an expert working in the renewable energy sector for the past 12 years, primarily focused on manufacturing and strategy, communication, social media, from modules to inverters to batteries, and now mounting structure. He worked with them all. He has worked and traveled across Asia, Europe, South America, Middle East, and he has an MBA from the University of Western Australia. Mr. Sameer, nice to meet you online, and hope that we have opportunity to meet in face-to-face sometimes in the future, whenever you are in the region.
Thank you, Sameer. Appreciate it. Thank you.
What are the types of substructures utilized for rooftops, and about the load-bearing capacity of the rooftop? Can you give us a little bit about the types of rooftops that you are seeing in the region, and what are the suitable structures for them? Over to you, Sameer.
Thank you, Sameer. Good question. So typically, in terms of substructures, you'd see penetrative or non-penetrative solutions for the different types of tin roofs, or when it comes to tile roofing for residential, depending on the different types of tiles, you might have, I don't know, maybe 9 to different, or maybe 10 different types of tile footings. And then when you're looking at low-pitched or flat-pitched roofs, you can have adjustable tilts to lift your panels up from one side, or you can have pre-assembled products like tripods, or with some standard tilts with what we call internally in our company the COMT. So there's a wide variety that one can choose, whether it's from what kind of roof profile that you have. Now, in terms of load bearing, this is a very interesting topic, right? Because buildings from 20 years ago did not make a roof to hold 1,000+ kilograms, depending on how big your solar system is. But there was never an intention to use that roof for solar. It was mainly for if you're looking at HVAC systems or TV antennas or communications. But today we are loading up the roofs with immense number of panels, and today even some inverter systems which can be roof mounted. So from a roof mounting structure, we look at everything that's from the roof mounting substructure and how it affixes itself to the actual roof profile. But in terms of the roof profile to the actual roof, for when it comes to, let's say, penetrative, our substructures are using either the screws, and it's going through the purlin points, and so that way your substructure is fastened directly to the purlin and the actual frame of the actual roof. But when it comes to non-penetrative, especially on a tin roof, we are affixing our clamps to the roof profile, and that's it. From the roof profile to the actual roof purlins, you have basically small little clamps. So that part of the engineering is part of, let's say, the building and the actual roofing manufacturers. So it's a we've done like open webinars on just this whole topic, but I hope I've answered your question. If there's anything more specific you want me to get into,
we will. About the quality of the product, what are your recommendations for clients that are looking to install solar rooftop? What are, let's say, the top 3 recommendations for owners who are looking, or for engineering companies who are looking to install solar rooftops? Over to you, Samir.
Thank you. I mentioned in the previous session that when it comes to solar mounting gear, as compared to panels, inverters, batteries, very much on the electrical side of things and electrical engineering, but with mounting structures, it's all about the civil engineering, and it's with the design phase of it. So the top 3 would be making sure, we could always talk about the right materials. We can talk about the right profiles of how it's designed, so it matches the roof profiles and things like this. But what I really believe is every country probably has their building codes. They have certain criteria by certain regions, making sure that your civil engineering team or the manufacturer you're using, their engineering teams are across all those building standards, the terrain standards, the wind region standards. For example, just to give you some perspective, for example, in Australia right now, from the 1st of September, they are actually making a new standard, which is they're calling it the climate change multiplier. And actually what it means is it's an extra being more conservative because of looking at the crazy weather patterns that a lot of countries are having with floods and cyclones and things like this, especially when it comes to wind regions. What you will start to see is that when previously you are given a roof, and yes, let's just put panels all across this roof, with these new standards coming in, the designers are going to be forced to be more conservative, to be more, I'd say, further in from the roof ridges, so that the ends of the system are not so exposed to the bitter winds and as our weather patterns become more fluctuated. So I think my top 3 would be: make sure you got engineering, you're backed by good engineering, you have good materials and a good warranty from your local suppliers, and you have technical support, because we have, for example, we have technical support who was at the office from 8 till 6 p.m. But on social media, we get questions late at night, early in the morning, from installers who are up on the roof because they start at 6:30 in the clock. So technical support, engineering, and materials.
Thank you very much. Actually, the last question, maybe you touched on it. It's related to the wind energy and maybe the resiliency and the climate change. What is the impact of, let's say, the climate change on the wind speed that you are designing right now? Are you designing for higher wind speeds?
Yes,
Over to you.
yes, 100%. So we look at, of course, terrain. So depending on whether where the structure is, how high it is, how densely populated from other buildings you are, all this affects the eventual wind that will reach your site. And then you're looking at the wind regions of how strong, from a cyclone perspective, there is. And some countries have categories like I think it's C1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So you're looking at those parameters. Sometimes you're even looking at soil, because talking to the various stakeholders who know that area, finding out what the water table is underneath that structure is I mean, like, for example, the city I live in right now, Melbourne, very never had, or never, but very rarely has earthquakes, for example. But we had one a couple of months ago. So of course now we have to go to every single ground mount site to see how our systems have fared, and has the soil moved, and how does this all play together? So it's about having those right teams in place from a civil engineering perspective.
Thank you very much, Samir. Wonderful talking to you, and I'm sure that we come back to you with more questions from the audience.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Mr. Amr Fattali. Mr. Amr Fathallah, are you with us?
Yes, Mr. Samir, I'm with you.
Excellent. Mr. Amr is the sales manager and engineer at Alex Form. Mr. Amr, Alex Form is a well-known company to us since many years. Can you tell us about the quality of products that you are producing and how you maintain this quality? Over to you.
Okay, regarding to the quality, we separate it to many divisions. For example, if we are going to design stage, we ensure following the suitable standard regarding to the country we are producing our product to. Also, we are applying for UL 2703 to ensure the optimum quality of our produce goods in design stage and also at after production. During production and after production, we are manufacturing according with the CE mark according to EN 1090-1. So we ensure that all the produced product meeting the highest quality standard and specs as well.
Okay, so if a customer asks for a solar mounting structure, it to be UL certified or not UL certified, is it the same, or you have different design requirements?
No, we have two scenarios here. For example, if the client has, for example, he has his own design and he wants us to produce it, okay, we will produce it according to the CE mark regulation and standard. If a client wants us to perform the design, okay, we will go for a further procedure where the location, wind speed, applied load, type of PV, if we are focusing on a soil, what type of soil. All these parameters have to be checked and clear before we proceed with initial design. After its approval, we end with agreed the product to be produced and shipped to the client.
Okay, very nice. Regarding the roof metal structure that will receive the solar mounting structure, are there any preferred dimensions or shapes for the metal roof? Over to you.
Okay, shapes of profile itself, it changes regarding to the design, even if you are using C shape or U or even omega. What interests are here is the type of protection for the material itself. It will affect the lifetime of the plant or the mount structure. if it's regards to or it's change the protection type in terms of environmental classification. If you are near to the sea, we have to define a separate material like manganese or ZM product. If you are far away, then we can go for zinc coating and so on.
Okay, one more question. This is the
Okay.
last question. The majority of the industrial, let's say, buildings that will receive this mounting structure are old, and these old structures might need maintenance or might not be able to carry the additional load. What do you do in this case?
Actually, it's interesting question because a couple of weeks ago we have a live case like that in Alexandria for ceramic factory in Burj Al Arab, with a location site in Alexandria. We go actually to the location of the client. We examine the site location, and we find two cases. One case, the client need to, if he want to apply a rooftop structure, he need to support the and put additional purling and additional bearing element to make more stiffening for the structure to carry this load. And the other case we face is only require a change of the cladding material because it's like 15 years old, or the corrugated sheet paint was removed, and even we have penetration and full corrosion for the base metal. So we recommend the client for demolition and changing of the cladding itself before we can apply a mount structure.
Very good, very good. Thank you very much, Mr. Amr, for these very good answers. I'm sure we'll get back to you with more questions from the audience.
Mr. Samir,
Mr. Siva, are you with us?
Mr. Samir, I'll just interrupt you for a bit. We have Mr. Amar Yasir back with us. He can just continue and finish his presentation.
Okay, perfect.
Very sorry for the bad connection. I will try to summary from where we stopped.
Sure, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, can you see my screen now?
We can.
Okay. Previously, I said that Alex Form is always keen and strive for innovation and continuous development, and the solar sector is with huge potential and daily development to keep pace with modernity in the global market. And from this point of view, we have helped many of our many tracker suppliers and to develop their tracking of our and their system. In this screen, you can see one of the products. It's called Alex Elite, which is an innovation two products that we can put here in the floor. One of them is a sandwich panel with the special design of his rip the sheet and the solar clamp is so in another screen. Okay, this product is a sandwich panel that is distinguished by it's installed through screws. As you can see here in this way, there is no need to make any penetration on the surface. So penetration on that prolongs the lifetime of the ceiling by reducing points, which are good activator and initiator, which start at rust and corrosion. And these points sometimes help to leak rain, water, and some still dust through it. And here, those problems were solved with this product. Here you can see the clamp and how how we can fix the clamp on the thing of sandwich panel. No need for any penetration on the roof. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, sir.
Okay. One of the major problem that so that the weak points have been closed. I have been able to in the lifetime of the roof, which was considered a big problem in time by ending these weak points in many cases. And the problem that is PPA, the big that PPA contracts is that the station owner want a lifetime of station 25 years, but the roof is not guaranteed to survive for 25 years. So here we saved this roof this lifetime of the planet because in solar project is very important, and you need to use to select everything in project carefully. So that is what Alex Form is doing. You need while selecting the material, there is a partnership with ArcelorMittal. There is a partnership and then to supply Alex Form with material or painting agreement to that called granite asphalt light that extend the lifetime of the roof more than the life of the solar plant. Also, to ensure and to make sure that them to will survive a load and the pressure that comes from the wind. There is a finite element that is combined load that are where we get there is a process that will the clamp from its place. These theoretical calculations were verified and ensured by an experimental test that on external labs to ensure the max force were carried out pull out the clamp from its base. There is also in this slide you can see the tests that they will have like fire resistant and fire classification according to the polyurethane criteria that's insulated between the covering material. Finally, Alex Form is truly proud to be a part of the green transition and green and sustainable development with new is being started with Alex lead. Thank you, Meenakshi. Thank you, Solar Quarter team. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Amar. Mr. Samir, you can take the panel discussion forward now.
Okay, we are back. Shall we proceed with the next?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Mr. Siva, are you with us? Mr. Siva Kumaran. Mr. Siva. Okay. Mr. Arsalan, are you with us? Mr. Arsalan?
Mr. Samir, we have Mr. Chandrasekhar. We have Mr. Joe with us.
Mr. Joe is with us?
Yes.
Mr. Joe, how are you?
Hello, very good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
Excellent. Mr. Joe, it is a pleasure to have you with us.
Yeah.
And Mr. Joe is the MIET manager for engineering projects and contracts at the he's a DEWA certified solar PV expert working for SOL Engineering and Contracting, which is a very active solar EPC contractor in the UAE. Correct?
Yes, Mr. Samar.
Excellent. Mr. Joe, can you tell us about the solar mounting
Hello. Hello, Meenakshi.
Hello, Mr.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes, Mr.
Sorry
Tan.
about that.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about the solar mounting structures that are used in the rooftops in the UAE, please?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for having me. And as our normal practice here in Dubai as an EPC contractor, for example, for residential flat roof, we commonly use aluminum bracket
Yeah,
system. Let's say the
Mr. Joe, can you raise your voice, please?
hello. Yes. Can you hear me? Yes. Hello.
Yeah, just speak louder.
Speak loud. Okay. Okay, for example, here in Dubai, as our normal practice here in Dubai as an EPC solar contractor. So for residential flat roof, we commonly use aluminum T5 or T6 bracket system with the counterweight ballast, something like that. In some cases, aluminum railing, let's say short or long rail, can also be used in some residential area with the metal roof space. For CNI, we normally use both option. It depends on the roof space finishes and orientation. And we commonly selected this option because it's more economical without compromising the local authority and safety standards.
Uh, Another question is used. Are tracker being utilized for rooftop solar PV systems?
As we all know that the world of utility scale solar development is run by trackers. By upping the project capacity factor, tracker allows module to generate more power, allowing less module to be used in a project and overall lower overhead costs. However, this option is very difficult to achieve in residential and CNI solar projects. So the success of trackers had been in the utility space. It's a fact actually, and that dominance has not been applied in residential and a CNI in that sector. Something. Traditional tracking system had been unviable for this application, mainly due to their weight and susceptibility to damage from high winds and the cost itself, and that's affecting the ROI of the project. And additionally, there are some non-solar costs also in the project that we need to consider, such as hiring a structural consultant for a detailed study of the existing roof space and the integrity to handle the usage of a tracker for the rooftop installation. However, here in UAE, as a solar EPC contractor, we don't normally use trackers for residential and CNI solar projects.
Definitely very challenging question unless you have very big area or very wide rooftop that can take mega scales.
Big
Uh,
groups.
yes. Regarding the let's say the typical height, typical dimensions of the rooftops. What is the average height above rooftop of the system? What is the average, let's say, inclination and tilt area?
Again, that is also it's a great question, but actually it's an open-ended question. Also, it depends on the design perspective of the EPC contractor actually, because as we all know that the solar, like as an EPC, we are when we are interacting with our client as much as possible, we have to maximize the maximum generation that we can provide as per the client requirement here. So here is without compromising the local standard. I can say here that the as what do you call this one? This tracker is not really common in the CNI and residential application. So I really don't have that data at the moment to say that what is really the recommended height of the tracker for this type
Okay,
of
okay.
application.
My last question is about the new PV modules. They are large in size.
Mhm.
Did that impact the mounting structure, the rooftop mounting structures design?
It is. It is. For example, the bigger module has a more the weights actually. When we are applying here in the solar EPC, for example, as part of our design preparation is to check the integrity of the existing roof if he can really accommodate this additional load weight to the existing roof, something like that. So
Yes.
aside from that, there are also some other things that you need to consider. For example, the walkways, the cable trays. That is also additional weight that we need to consider in our design perspective. But as just to answer your question regarding on the module weight, of course, that is part of our normal design preparation in order to make sure that everything is safe according to the plan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joe. I'm sure that we will come back to you with some more questions from the audience.
Okay.
Mr. Chandra, are you with us?
Yeah, hi, Mr. Samir. I'm here.
Excellent, excellent. A little bit of introduction about the company that Mr. Chandra Sikar is working for. They are a turnkey solution provider for rooftop and ground-mounted solar systems for both commercial and industrial sectors, combining the development, financing, construction, operation of solar rooftops for commercial and industrial applications in the UAE. It's a fantastic opportunity to have you with us, Mr. Chandra. Can you tell us a little bit about the metal roofing that is most preferred for solar platform?
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Samir, and for inviting this wonderful session. So, coming to UAE part in the Middle East, we'll look the roof in two different ways. One is the wall type of buildings and already pre-constructed buildings in the Middle East, so which is from past 25 years are there here, and we look into a already getting new constructions in the industrial cities. So when we look onto the old construction, so we have to depend on the existing structure, existing roof, and the structural engineer design approved by the municipality. So there most technically what we do is re-engineering on the existing loading capacity. So that will already Dubai municipality was giving a bearing capacity limits for every roof, so which is a pre-designed one. So when we are working on the existing roof, so we will take the existing calculations. We will design the capacity which is getting limited again. So for example, if we are taking a newly construction going on, so we can give an opportunity to them so that they can increase the bearing capacity and we can increase the size of modules and capacity. But unfortunately, to be technical, in Dubai now there is a cap lock. So which means that we have to limit our design to the system, even though we have a good roof and premises. So
Okay.
coming to the metal sheet roofs, we have most probably preferred is the sandwich panel, which is very wide in Dubai and all Middle East countries. So that is best and good for solar erections. But at the same time, we have a sanding seam type and clip lock type also, which is very rare, where we are facing some challenges to maintain the solar as per the design requirements.
Okay, I have another question regarding the operation, maintenance, cleaning of the rooftops for commercial and industrial. What are the, let's say, top 3 recommendations for engineers and owners looking forward to installing a new system on a commercial rooftop or an industrial rooftop to maintain and clean their system?
Yeah, so when it comes to the new design, or means a new premises is getting installed, so definitely engineer will have a liberation to give active and protective manner to reach to the roof, and the degree of angle where to clean the modules, and facility wide we will have a more liberation to have a free and good saved manner. For example, access ladders. I will recommend to give a proper and dedicated good access ladders to the people, which is a main part for O&M to reach their side, top of the roof, and to clean the thing. And the second thing is management of water. Now, the biggest challenge in already constructed premises is the drain and drainage system of the thing. Considering Dubai conditions, I think drainage management is bit less. So we should consider access ladder, water management system, and approach to roof as a better and safe manner for the O&M to support the O&M team. And anyways, in the design itself, we'll give walkways and lifelines as a part of mandatory HSE requirements, which ultimately depend on the premises conditions.
Thank you very much. So walkways, that's very important. Yeah, and ladders are very important, and access to water or water is also important for cleaning. Thank you very much. Menashki, you want to go over to the last segment of Q&A?
Yes, sir. I'm going to show the first question.
Okay, first question. For flat roof mounting, what is the maximum tilt angle your product can provide? Maximum tilt angle. Any of the designers, who is the designer here who would like to talk about tilt angles? Mr. Joe, you like to talk about tilt angles?
Are we talking about here in product perspective or in design perspective?
He is asking about the maximum tilt angle that the system can provide. So it has to do with the design. If you like to answer it, or
how high do you want to go? You can go as high as you like. I have seen installations on a 40-story building which are 90 degrees, because it's like, on the 40th floor, you've got the elevator shaft, and the whole elevator shaft is surrounded by, panels. But yeah, it just depends on that designer, what he wants to do. Maybe the architect, how pretty they want to make it. But I think, manufacturers have all options, but it's up to the designer what the popular tilt is.
Yeah, the tilt has to do with the location of the city at which latitude. So basically, you need to do a computer model and find out what is the best angle. For our region, you're talking about let's say between 25 and 30. The higher you go up, the difference, the degree. Next question, please. Okay, what is the maximum wind load can a single axis tracker hold? It's a very good question. Also, designer. It seems that we have designers among the attendees. Samir, you want to take that also?
I'm happy for Joe to take that question. I believe ours is, I think, 30. I'm probably the wrong person to ask, but yeah, Joe.
Okay. Any of our technical designers working in trackers, the maximum wind load, it can go up as much as you want. It depends on the distance between the supports. So the when you reduce the distance between the supports, the higher the wind load that the tracker can take. Thank you very much. No problem.
Yes,
I'll
Mr.
answer that
Samir,
for
I
you.
think
I
Mr.
can.
Amar wants to answer that one.
Mr. Ammar, تفضل.
Yes, actually, there is no maximum wind speed that we can say for the single axe tracker. It depends on your design. If you are using a heavy material, a heavy profiles, then you will can withstand a higher wind speed. It depends. So it depends totally on the design. There is you can design a single tracker that can resist only 20 meter per second, and you can design a single tracker that can resist a very higher wind speed, like 40 or 45 or 50 meter per second. So it depends on the design, and the design affected by many things, like the spacing between the poles or the spacing between posts, the thickness of the the thickness of the tubes that used in the tracker, and also the rails. You need to check that these rails can withstand the max wind speed you have. So there is many factors that affected on the design affected by the wind speed. So there is no max wind speed that can resisted by a single axe tracker. You have to design it according to the wind speed and in the terrain or in the place that you will install your tracker.
Thank you very Ammar very much for this very nice answer. So Ammar is challenging you to bring him the highest wind load you have, and he will design it for you.
Sure, yeah.
I just checked our data sheets. It's actually for us within our company, it's about 40 to 45 meters meters per second. But yeah,
Nice.
exactly to what Amar said, that is obviously our standard product. But depending on the design specifications, they can be increased.
Thank you very much, Samir. Minak, back to you, Minak. Do we have another question, Minakshi?
That's all the questions we have for this session. Thank you
Okay.
so much, all our esteemed panelists. Thank you, Sameer sir, for the terrific and very professional example you set as a moderator. It was a pleasure having you in such a well-planned and high-energy panel discussion. Thank you, everyone, for extending your time and support for the event. We promise you to come back with more exciting topics very soon. Thanks to our partners, Alex Farm, Clenergy, and Stroller, for extending their support to organize this webinar. The floor is now open for networking.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr.
Appreciate it.
Samir.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you
Thank
all.
you.